We are here. Oh man, not a great night last night. Hey, we have those little sleepy eyes. And we're doing the no shave November things coming in. All right, so we're talking pain. What is pain? Should we worry about it? Should you rub some dirt on it? Should you get that man some water? Did you just take some aspirin? Is that enough? Did you just should you go to the hospital for every bump and bruise you get? Should you overreact to every little unknown sensation? Lots of answers coming. So one of the things to remember is that pain is very complex. It is made up, that is, it is sort of the perception of half a dozen to a dozen systems in your body, all interacting quickly, all interacting in real time, all interacting with the knowledge of what past experience has taught you, whether you should fear a certain sensation or that place looks scary and what should your body prepare you for. So these things, which is weird because you think if I break a bone, it should just hurt the amount it feels like when a bone breaks. And that is true. But if you previously had a fracture and that fracture sidelined you for a year and a half instead of the normal 10 or so weeks, and it stopped you from playing sports and it stopped you from doing an activity you love, well, the next time you break a bone, you might have a different reaction. You might have a more exaggerated pain response. You could have a more exaggerated disability response. Your body could literally do any number of things to protect that area in such a way that might be overprotective. So we're talking about pain here recently, and we talk about it all the time, right? Of course, but how being physical therapists sometimes kind of inoculates us from pain. Being people who exercise regularly, that inoculates us from pain. We all do kind of weird stuff. I mean, I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's not super common, but it's definitely growing in popularity. But it's a weird game. It hurts. I mean, you're kind of the whole point is to be on the edge of injuring your partner and that kind of thing. But it's a fun game. Dr. Szymanski is a terrific CrossFit athlete, and he's constantly here just beating the piss out of himself. It looks just grueling. We all do these kinds of things. And the idea that we are inflicting our nervous system with a lot of this sensation, and we're doing it repeatedly, putting it in the context of where we are, like as in what we are doing every time we exercise. And this is something everybody does. And the more you do it, the more you get used to it. And so training yourself against pain is the same thing as kind of training yourself against stress, overall stress. Stress is big and small. Stress is in your daily life, in your personal life, in your work life. And you know what? I didn't really mean to plug a book here, but there was a terrific book written 15 or so years ago by Dr. Bob Rosen. He's an industrial psychologist, and the book is called Just Enough Anxiety. And the idea is that if you want an organism, or really anything, in this case, he was speaking about like the mental health of a leader, those kinds of things, that if you don't provide that stress level, that pain level, that difficulty to the system with which you want to grow or you want to advance in any way, well, there's no reason for the system to grow, to stretch out its capabilities. And so conversely, if you give a system too much stress, if I put someone on a piece of machinery, a treadmill, and they've never stepped foot on a treadmill before, and they're grossly obese, and we're on the first steps of this thing, and I put the thing at 10 miles an hour, that is too much anxiety, stress, whatever you want to call that. Too much for that person in that scenario, in that context, to be able to tolerate. Okay, well, you got to find that line. And we talk about that all the time here. So we did a team building exercise last weekend. It was a paintball. We originally were going to just do it with staff. I said, now open it up to everybody. Let's do clients, bring significant others. It's a lot of fun. So the more the merrier. We had 16 people, I think, 15 or 16 people showed up, and we played for a couple hours. It was great. But it's one of those weird scenarios, right? Everyone was having a great time. Everyone was really concentrating on, what was the task? What are we doing here? And everyone at some point got shot, right? No big deal. Well, it is a big deal if previously you had a bad experience with, firearms, or you weren't comfortable with them or familiar with them. Maybe it's the first time shooting something that wasn't just a water gun. Okay, so these are different things, right? And your nervous system's going to feel that. It's going to go, oh man, I hope I don't get hit. And then when you get hit, depending upon the scenario, and for most people getting hit for the first time out there, it was like, where'd that come from? It was so weird. And it's striking, literally and figuratively, but it's not. I don't know. If you've been out there and you're in paintball, maybe we're sissies and we used little baby guns or something like that. But we had a great time. We had an excellent time. And the whole point of this is that we're all playing, literally playing, and then playing with the edge of pain for ourselves, right? We're in this game where at the end of the day, it really is like, oh, how much can you just tolerate? There's certain points of the game where if you're hit, you're out. That's terrific. But yeah, man, Jeff was there. He had a freaking awesome time. I had such a great time, you guys. But the idea is like, you have this goal, whatever the goal of the game happens to be. And then you have these stressors, right? And if all you did is think about the stressors, if all you did was think about, man, that thing's heavy, I don't know, that looks like a lot, or it might hurt me or whatever. Or if all you think about are those bad things, you'll never take a step forward, ever. So this is a cool exercise in withstanding, what you could call kind of the din of normal life, like that stuff that's just going on around you, the goal, the thing, the execution task, and then having to deal with, oh, somebody's trying to stop me from doing that. Okay, great. And in the end, it was really fun. The games got progressively a little bit more rough, which was great. And some folks bowed out, right? And so that's the idea, thinking about what people's tolerance is for pushing themselves to that line. And sometimes it doesn't, you can't take someone who's never done something like this before and expect them to go full hog, crazy and Rambo mode. But all right, well, if you expose someone to it and then they realize, oh, it wasn't that bad. Now I'll go back and maybe I might push myself to the next level. That's exactly how we push each other here. That's how everyone should be sort of striving to expand their own perception of pain, or just general, any of the bad things we kind of come up with every day. You got to get through that stuff. So check out the Instagram. There'll be pictures. There'll be some videos of bruises and all the fun things. It was really a great time. Thank you to everybody who came out. Keep an eye on our socials. Keep an eye on our newsletters. We will be doing things like that. We are in the Northern Virginia area. If you like messing around with folks in a pretty fun culture who just want to get closer to each other and push each other a little bit further in our own little journeys, and join us and come hang out. All right. Yeah, I know it was like a lot of freaking work. All right, guys. We'll see you at the next whatever we do. It'll be soon. We're gonna have a grand opening. Oh, don't say that. Nothing. I didn't say that. We're not doing anything special. Cheers, guys. Have a great day.